Morning mist drifts over the rolling fields of Northamptonshire as electric wrought iron gates swing open onto a stone-paved drive leading to a 12-acre estate, Allan Lamb's private sanctuary. What does life look like for England's fearless batsman once the crowd stops cheering? Today we'll step inside this country estate to explore his fortune, lifestyle, and the journey from a boy in South Africa to an England Ashes legend. Now let's rewind to his early life and career turning points. Allan Joseph Lamb was born on the 20th of June 1954 in Langebaan, Cape Province, South Africa, into a British family that carried cricket in its veins. His father, Mickey, was a club-level bowler, and young Allan grew up with bat and ball as part of his daily rhythm. He attended Wynberg Boys High School and later Abbott's College, showing a natural flair for hand-eye coordination and an appetite for competition. In his youth, he dabbled in multiple sports, but cricket quickly rose as his passion. By the late 1970s, Lamb was already making waves in South Africa's domestic circuit with Western Province, where his fearless batting style stood out against hostile fast bowling. In 1978, he signed with Northamptonshire in county cricket, a move that not only gave him stability, but also connected him with the English system. 4 years later, in June 1982, Lamb debuted for England in a test against India at Lord's, where he remained not out when the winning runs were scored. He announced himself further by scoring a century in just his third test of that series, marking the arrival of a player destined for big moments. Over the next decade, Lamb became a cornerstone of England's middle order. His test career stretched from 1982 to 1992, producing 4,656 runs at an average of 36.09, including 14 centuries and 18 half-centuries. He thrived in the cauldron of the Ashes, especially in 1984, when he piled up 386 runs with 3 centuries against Australia. His resilience was again on display in 1990 when he compiled a defiant 132 against the West Indies at Headingley, helping England record a rare victory over the Caribbean giants. Even his brief captaincy had a splash of drama. Taking the reins against the West Indies in 1989 to 90, he struck a century, 110, on debut as captain, though England would lose all 3 tests he led. Known for his combative middle-order batting and resilience against fast bowling, Lamb was the player teammates looked to when the pressure was highest. A batsman who, in American sports terms, wanted the ball with 2 outs and the bases loaded. His one-day record was just as vivid. Between 1982 and 1992, he played 122 ODIs for England, scoring 4,010 runs at an average of 39.31 with 4 centuries and 26 50s, and a top score of 118. He nearly made history in his second match by scoring 99, becoming only the second player ever dismissed for that number in ODIs, before sealing his first ton just 1 game later. In 1986 to 87, with England chasing a target against Australia, he smashed 18 runs off the final over from Bruce Reid, including a 6 and multiple boundaries, pulling off one of the highest-scoring final overs in a winning one-day international chase. For viewers used to walk-off home runs, it was the cricket equivalent of a 9th-inning rally. World Cups also became his stage. He scored a century against New Zealand in 1983, played a key unbeaten knock to help England reach the 1987 final, and chipped in 31 runs during the 1992 final against Pakistan. Although he took only 1 test wicket in his career, best figures 1 for 6, and none in ODIs, his aggressive stroke play and clutch performances made him indispensable to England's batting order through a turbulent era. By the mid-1990s, the chapter of relentless touring and heavy schedules was closing. Lamb retired from all cricket in 1995 after his long stint with Northamptonshire, where he had served as captain and amassed over 30,000 runs across formats. Retirement did not mean retreat. He pivoted to media and business, publishing his autobiography Silence of the Lamb in 1996, which sold more than 50,000 copies. He became a regular analyst for Sky Sports and Channel 5, lent his voice to BBC's The Score, and even tried his hand at acting in the 1997 film What Rats Won't Do. On television, he brought the same blend of humor and candor that once colored his batting. Since the early 2000s, Lamb has largely stepped back from the spotlight, surfacing for interviews, charity events, and occasional commentary stints. Yet the story of his rise, from a boy in South Africa to an England Ashes hero, sets the perfect stage for the life he built off the pitch. And nowhere is that life more vividly expressed than in the Northamptonshire country estate he calls home. Northamptonshire Country Estate, countryside, escape with style. Tucked away in the gentle rolling landscape of Northamptonshire, Allan Lamb's country estate feels like a page torn from an English countryside dream. From the moment the wrought iron gates swing open and reveal the long paved driveway, visitors know they are about to step into something special. The main residence itself radiates warmth and proportion. A bright, spacious hallway leads directly into the heart of the home, where multiple reception rooms invite both relaxation and formal entertaining. The sitting room, with central heating and double-aspect windows, bathes in natural light and offers serene views of the grounds. Just a step away lies the garden room, thoughtfully designed with underfloor heating, an Amtico floor, Sanderson blinds, and even solar panel-assisted roof vents, blending classic comfort with modern sustainability. The kitchen and dining areas continue the theme of practicality fused with charm. A separate kitchen zone with AGA flooring, ample counter space, and direct access to a utility area makes it perfectly suited to both everyday living and large family gatherings. French windows from the dining room open directly onto the garden terrace, blurring the line between indoor warmth and outdoor freedom. A home office and study provide a quiet retreat for work, while the downstairs cloakroom adds convenience to the elegant ground floor layout. Upstairs, 4 generously sized bedrooms stretch across the residence. Each room is graced with pleasant views of the surrounding countryside, ensuring that mornings begin with calm and inspiration. The master suite is complete with an ensuite shower room, while the remaining bedrooms share well-appointed family bathrooms. These upper levels embody privacy and comfort, offering personal sanctuaries within a house designed for togetherness. Step outside, and the estate truly comes alive. Adjacent to the main home lies a landscaped gravel garden, a terrace, and a conservatory that becomes the perfect stage for summer barbecues, al fresco dining, or quiet evenings under the stars. Beyond that lies a private enclosed lawn, surrounded by mature greenery, delivering both seclusion and a sweeping connection to the countryside. But the crown jewel of Lamb's Northamptonshire estate is undoubtedly the land, 12 acres in total, offering space and opportunity far beyond ordinary homes. Designed with equestrian pursuits in mind, the grounds boast 3 timber stables, a professionally installed menage, and carefully fenced paddocks. For horse enthusiasts, it's a dream setup. For others, it's a canvas of open space that could host everything from gardening to recreational ventures. It is not just where Allan Lamb resides, it is where he escapes, reflects, and reconnects with the peace that only wide open spaces can provide. And while the property showcases elegance and functionality, it also hints at the wealth and financial security that made such a countryside retreat possible. Which naturally brings us to the next chapter of his story, Allan Lamb's income streams, income and net worth. While exact figures are difficult to verify given the era he played in, historians and analysts estimate his overall wealth today stands at around $5 million, accumulated across decades of activity both on and off the field. Lamb's most consistent earnings came from his long stint with Northamptonshire County Cricket Club between 1978 and 1995. Over 18 seasons, he amassed more than 30,000 runs across 600-plus matches, all while securing base salaries and win bonuses. In parallel, his Test and ODI match fees for England, 79 Tests and 128 ODIs between 1982 and 1992, added significantly to his pot. In the 1980s, top overseas players at county level could command between £20,000 and £50,000 annually, which would equal $300,000 to $750,000 in today's money. By the end of his playing days, Lamb had likely earned $2 to $3 million purely from contracts and fees. Lamb represented England in 2 Cricket World Cup finals, 1987 and 1992. Although prize pools were modest compared to modern mega-tournaments, usually $50,000 to $100,000 per event split among squads, the exposure elevated his value to sponsors. Memorable performances like his bold run chase against Australia in 1987 gave him marketability that translated into side deals worth around $100,000 to $200,000. In an age before Nike mega contracts and IPL brand explosions, endorsements were limited but steady. Lamb appeared in humorous advertising campaigns with Ian Botham under the Beefy and Lambie banner promoting English beef and lamb, along with product partnerships with Kookaburra Sport for bats. These may not have been million-dollar deals, but across the years they contributed an estimated $500,000 to $1 million to his net worth. Post-retirement, Lamb pivoted seamlessly into television. He became a familiar face in cricket commentary boxes for Sky Sports and Channel 5 and appeared on BBC radio programs such as The Score. Small acting roles, like in What Rats Won't Do, and celebrity TV appearances further bolstered his visibility. Collectively, his broadcasting work is thought to have added $500,000 to $800,000 over time, a steady flow that continued long after he hung up his pads. Arguably, Lamb's most lucrative post-cricket venture has been the speaking circuit. Represented by agencies such as Gordon Poole and Champion Speakers, he became a fixture at corporate gatherings, charity dinners, and cricketing functions. With fees ranging between $5,000 to $10,000 per event and 20 to 30 appearances annually during his peak years, these engagements may have netted him $300,000 to $500,000 annually, eclipsing even some of his cricket salaries. In 1996, Lamb released Silence of the Lamb, a candid autobiography recounting not just career highlights, but also controversies like the Imran Khan libel trial. Selling more than 50,000 copies, it generated $100,000 to $200,000 in royalties, a significant one-time boost and a legacy item that keeps his name alive in cricketing literature. Yet beyond the numbers, Lamb has also found ways to give back, supporting causes close to his heart. Philanthropy. His approach reflects both the resilience that defined him at the crease and the humility of someone who understands the power of his public profile. In 2024, Lamb saddled up for one of his toughest off-field challenges, a 1,000-kilometer cycle slam ride from Rome to Nice alongside other sports personalities. The effort raised over £13,000 for Rugby Works, a program founded by Lawrence Delaglio that uses rugby to support at-risk youth. For Lamb, who built a reputation as a fearless competitor, this ride symbolized his willingness to push boundaries for a cause bigger than himself. Closer to home, Lamb has been particularly active in raising awareness about prostate cancer, a disease he himself faced. In 2022, he promoted and attended a free PSA testing day in Northampton, where over 200 men were screened. With ambitions to expand the event to reach at least 500 participants annually, Lamb has become a relatable advocate, someone who speaks from experience rather than statistics. His advocacy didn't begin recently. In 2014, long before his own diagnosis, Lamb cycled the Cape Argus Cycle Tour, a grueling 109-kilometer ride to raise funds for prostate cancer research. Following his diagnosis in 2021, his voice has grown louder, urging men not to delay testing. As he put it in interviews, "If I hadn't been checked, I wouldn't be here today." That personal candor has amplified Prostate Cancer UK's message in ways few campaigns can. Beyond health, Lamb has lent encouragement to causes supporting children and families. Around 2023 to 2024, he publicly supported a Friends fundraising walk from Land's End to John O'Groats, a marathon-length journey benefiting Shea-S, which provides palliative care for children with life-shortening conditions. His backing added visibility and credibility, ensuring the effort resonated beyond local circles. Similarly, Lamb extended his support to the Ukama Trust, a South African charity working with impoverished children in Cape Town. Though his role was primarily one of endorsement and advocacy, It reflected a personal connection to his birthplace and a willingness to stay engaged with communities beyond the UK. And behind these public efforts lies the man himself, family, traditions, and a life shaped as much by challenges as by triumphs. Personal life. He met Lindsay, sometimes spelled Lindsay in older press cuttings, in South Africa in the late 1970s, just as he was weighing up a permanent move to England to play county cricket for Northamptonshire. The couple married in the early 1980s and quietly celebrated their 35th wedding anniversary in 2014, a milestone that made them one of cricket's longest-lasting partnerships. The two built a life that mixed international travel with domestic rituals. They raised a son, Richard, and a daughter, Katie Ann, both of whom grew up surrounded by bats, pads, and the hum of English summer crowds. Details about the children are deliberately scarce. The Lambs have guarded their privacy. However, his professional career was not without turbulence, and these controversies often bled into his public image. Lamb's England career came to an abrupt end after the 1992 series against Pakistan, when umpires altered the match ball under suspicion of tampering. Though Lamb himself was never formally charged, the incident cast a long shadow. Critics in the press pointed fingers, and his absence from future England squads suggested the episode effectively closed the door on his international playing days. In one of the most publicized libel trials in British sporting history, Lamb and Ian Botham sued Pakistan's former captain, Imran Khan, for accusing England cricketers of ball tampering during the 1992 tour. The case, drawn out and costly, ended in defeat for Lamb and Botham. The ruling left the pair with hefty legal bills and lingering frustration. For Lamb, it was a bitter chapter, one he later acknowledged as a misstep in hindsight, though he maintained he pursued the matter out of principle. Through it all, Lamb leaned on his family. Those who know him best often point out that away from the pitch, Lamb is a family-first personality, grounded, warm, and happiest when surrounded by loved ones. His story is a reminder that behind the headlines of batting heroics, controversies, and even courtroom battles, there exists a man shaped by enduring partnerships and family loyalty. For Allan Lamb, cricket may have defined his public identity, but it is family that defines his legacy at home. We hope you've enjoyed stepping beyond the scorecards to see the home, the traditions, and the quieter passions that shaped his story. If you love this look inside, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss our next deep dive into the homes and lives of sporting legends. Your support keeps these stories alive. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.